Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny, so you can too. And this video is the 50-day moving average on the NASDAQ holds for now. This is market analysis for the week of June 19th, 2017. It's going to be a quick video for this week because it was Father's Day. I was pretty busy most of the day. Hope you had a wonderful Father's Day as well. So let's start off with the NASDAQ. I do have a stock I want to show you as well. I'm going to go through a lot of stocks, but I want one particular setup here. And you could see that we had this sharp move down just over a week ago, and it was, oh, what's happening? We're in a bubble, and tech is overvalued. Okay. Then we got the bounce, and then we came back down, tested that low, and we held the 50-day moving average. So now this is going to be key, because if we coil it up here, and I'm going to throw some, I had a couple of lines drawn earlier, but I wanted to start fresh because I didn't really like it. So yeah, that's a coil, a wedge, but it should release one way or the other. I'm not ready to call the bull dead, but this little mini pop of momentum, it was the biggest shot of momentum to the downside we've seen in a while, bigger than this one, obviously, and we didn't just snap right back in a couple of sessions. So, yeah, I mean, if we break that 50-day moving average, then look for us to test these lows pretty quick. 135.87 is that level, and then you have down here at 133.50s, call it 133.50s. I still am of the feeling that we get a sell in May and go away type event. Yes, I know we're in June, okay, and I know there's nowhere in the world we're in May, but like I said, at the time when we were heading into May, it doesn't have to happen in May. It is a mid-year seasonal slump, whatever. And the reason that I have been talking about it is that we've been basically straight up since the election. Everybody's rah-rah, President Trump is going to be great for the economy, and I'm not saying he's not going to be. I'm not hating on the prez, okay? But nothing goes in a straight line, and overconfidence comes in, and all of a sudden, boom, people say, you know what? I'm up a lot. Let's try to take some profits here, okay? And they do, and that could lead to that. Self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever it is. Obviously, we're in the middle towards the end of freaking June, so there is no sell in May and go away. That doesn't mean the seasonal tendency can't still kick in. So let's see what happens, see if we break down below the 50 or if we break out to the upside, and maybe the bulls just use this as a buying opportunity. Okay, so that's the NASDAQ. Here's the Russell, which is basically just channel surfing for now. Here's the mid caps doing similar. Here's the Dow. Yeah, the Dow's acting well. It was lagging for a little bit. Here's the S&P, which pulled back but did hold above the 20 EMA on the close. Hasn't closed below it since this little 2-day dip back in May. All right, so there was a hammer on Friday. Could the buyers use that as an excuse to try to get a bounce and come up and try to get a breakout here? I mean, it could, but I think the odds are better that it forms some sort of consolidation or something, and then from there it decides to lift. Let's look at some indices or some sectors. Sorry, we just looked at the indices. So semiconductors, right, they look like the NASDAQ. So we'll look at a couple of stocks. Clad Tanker, yeah, after a nice run-up, boom, triangle pendulum, so gave it back. And now we want to see, does it hold in here, or is it going to go to this level, this balance down here at the 95 area? Here's Intel. Okay, Intel looks like it's still range bound here for the time being. Here's NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has pulled back, but NVIDIA is acting pretty well. Okay, my good friend Mike Swanson did a video. I will link to it in my description about NVIDIA and Bitcoin. I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin because I don't have enough time, but I've been reading a lot of articles. There's a good one on Market Watch, Bitcoin is garbage or whatever, and it talks about how all Bitcoin is for illegal gambling and drugs. And anyway, but that's for, we'll talk about Bitcoin next week. All right, so there's NVIDIA, look like an ADI. So look at this one. Okay, this is coiled up as well here. Okay, see which way it releases, one way or the other from here. Let's look at some of the big stocks, and we'll go through some of the other sectors too. So Amazon, okay, back up to 1,000. Couldn't get it back above it the next time through. Apple, yeah, not looking so sharp here. Amazon, by the way, with the Whole Foods grab. What's that, WFM? Yeah, big move. Again, I will save my opinions on it, what I think. I'm just amazing what Amazon is trying to do. In my opinion, they're just trying to completely take over the world. I used to think it was Walmart, but now I think it's pretty clear it's Amazon. Anyway, so Apple is back to its home base here. This consolidation here, this balance here. So watch 140 on the downside, see if that holds. Here's Alphabet. Facebook, I never look at. I should be looking at it. Look how it held the 50-day. First back here in May, and then boom, boom, boom. Okay, so see if it can hold here and get a bounce or not. How about the banks? Banks, yeah. So the banks were coiled up. They popped out to the upside. Now they're consolidating. Here's Bank of America. Here's J.P. Morgan. Here's Citigroup. Here's Northern Trust. Yeah, acting well. Here's Zion. Consolidating here as well. Here's Bank of New York. Pushing up. Yeah, so Bank of New York definitely acting well. Okay. The best one, Citigroup, is a close second there. How about like a Goldman Sachs? Sitting on its 50-day moving average, see what that's going to do. Here's the broker-dealer, up by the highs. I like to look at Caterpillar, and I like to look at John Deere, both acting very, very nice. How about the biotechs? I got a comment last week, hey, you stop looking at the biotechs. All right. So here's the biotechs right here. Here's that stock that I wanted to point out as well. Sangamo Therapeutics. Okay, so you can see this had a nice downtrend here, down from 11 down to under 3. Formed whatever this pattern is, inverted head and shoulders. Nice pop up, and now it is coiling. So it's a cheapie. Check for news on it. Okay, this only came up in the pattern scan. You got to check for news, see if there's any binary events coming. But if it does release to the upside, this could go to $9 or even $10. So that's a stock to watch for this week. Let's look at gold. Yeah, gold's still sloppy. Everybody goes, oh, big breakout in gold. Yeah, not really. Okay, here's silver. Yeah, not really doing so hot here. And then oil. Okay, we look for oil to take out those lows. It did happen. Remember, we have the July 4th seasonal. That's still a couple of weeks away here, but I mean, to me, it looks like oil is headed down to those 2016 lows. What about bonds? Yeah, bonds looking like may try to continue higher. And again, the relationship, the correlation between bonds and the stocks are not always of an inverse nature. I know a lot of people think, no, they're always, bonds move one way and stocks move the other. But no, it's not always the case. They can move together. So, to wrap it up for this week, I think the NASDAQ is the one to watch here. It's always the one to watch, but at least we have a nice pattern to sink our teeth into. See what's going to happen here. Will it get the bounce? And, of course, if it does come out of the coil to the upside, what's going to happen then? Is it going to get some initiated buying, or is it going to stall out? But the 50-day and this lower line, definitely two lines in the sand. If it breaks down, you got this low here at, what is this low? 135.87. And then you got this high over here at 133.40. I think I said 133.50 versus 133.48. Any questions? Tiny at attackthemarkets.com. I will talk to you in the intra-week updates if you sign up for my website. Otherwise, I will talk to you in next week's video.